Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome, and good evening. Welcome to the Cosmic Lounge. We've got a lovely special guest this evening, Elizabeth Lux, who most of you would have seen previously. I've got to confess, I always absolutely loved speaking and chatting with Lizzie, where we can just trip the light. Fantastic. Always reminds me of working with Jennifer Rose, to be honest. So, it is a conversation. We're going to be talking specifically about the light of Ascension. Hi, Brenda. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Tani. Hope you're well. Thank you so much. Yeah, all good. Thank you, Tani. So it's okay. We're going to invite Lizzie in straight away, and we'll get on with this chat on the light of Ascension.
Hello.
Oh. Hi, Lizzie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me once again.
Oh, what subject?
I know. It's a
light
cool
of Ascension.
So
I was just watching your live. It is live, isn't it? What you do? Where your card readings? What is it? Card readings? I don't want to get it wrong. What is it?
Yeah, they're like collective readings, basically. So they're like broader spectrum readings that will be for a certain collective. So each reading is different, and will reach different people depending on the algorithm, I suppose.
Yeah, let's not go there. Talking about algorithms, funny enough, I can plug it straight away then, because we've got a conversation tomorrow night on the Cosmic Lounge with Pauline Barnfiver about AI and how we can manage ourselves with it, etc., etc. So it's funny talking about the algorithm. Yeah. It's like the algorithms are trying to control us, aren't they?
Well, there is that, but I suppose if we're working with the algorithm, if we're becoming friendly with the frequency of the algorithm, then that helps, doesn't it? So it's just a frequency, another energy. So I suppose it depends how it's being used. But yeah, of course, you have to err on the side of caution with everything. And you know, something might come past somebody's algorithm, they leave a comment and they're like, this one's not for me, I'm married or whatever, you know, and you're saying I'm going to meet someone. So, you know, whatever, you know.
Which one? What sites do you go on? I don't know. Hi, Sue. Lovely to have you with us.
I'm just talking about my readings, because a lot of them are love readings, you know, like there's been a huge amount of messages coming in about divine unions. So
yeah, are you getting some nice feedback from them, man?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I say my most popular account is my TikTok account.
Yeah,
it's kind of off the chart. Not off the chart, but it's growing quickly. And yeah, I get a lot of lovely comments on there. People are really friendly over there. I feel like there's a much bigger spiritual community on TikTok than anywhere else. Like Instagram is quite nice as well, but it's been really slow to pick up. And Facebook is funny. I feel like Facebook is the one where I'll get kind of sometimes like angry emojis and I mean,
interested to know the difference then. So TikTok looks like it's number one at the minute.
Yeah, that's the one where I feel like everyone's really supportive and it's really nice. So.
Yeah. Whoa, nice one. Okay then. So what I wanted to say to everybody is, because when you was doing your readings, the cards yesterday, and it's not the first time it's popped up. It was a few days ago. Another one came on as well. So I was watching you, and I just loved how the light of the whole space. You were set there. The space behind you was lit up. It's like everything seemed clear and crisp and light, and I was like, that looks really, really nice. I like it.
Yeah.
So, and I think it also implies something else when I see things like that. The mind, it kind of represents the mind as well of the individual. So, so for me, it was really nice it was refreshing, to be honest, to see yours pop up. Sorry, I need to cough.
I think the other thing is obviously when I'm doing that, I'm working closely with spirit, guides, light beings, angels. It just really depends what's happening on the day. But I think that sends a certain frequency, right? So
Of course.
and
Yeah.
you know, if you've got angels or light beings with you, it's going to, like, you know,
Influence you.
the frequency of the video.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, I always find it strange when you look at somebody and they're kind of in that dark, dingy room, you know, and you go, oh, this is a bit weird. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
So, yeah. But anyway, so Francis,
Yeah.
Hi, Francis. Hi, Margaret. Thanks for joining us. Lovely to have you with us. And anybody else, please, if you've got any thoughts, we're going to be talking on the light of Ascension specifically. And we're going to attempt to stay on track. And you know how that will go. Anyway, so if you've got any thoughts, any questions, please put them in. And as we go along, we'll see if we can kind of make it a little bit interactive. But the light of Ascension, Lizzie, it's happening. Yeah. It's game on now, isn't it? Across the board. What's your thoughts on it?
Oh, it's been quite interesting, wasn't it? We were just talking backstage about how it's been kind of up and down. And then, funny enough, there was a bit of a streamline where the energy felt really kind of just streamlined is the word that I would use.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sort of dips in and out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's that constant. Well, let's go for it, because I think watching the waves and sensing, being aware to whatever degree over so many years, and there was always intermittent. They were not intermittent, but they had their own timing, so to speak. What I'm noticing now is it's like this cosmic tide of waves is almost in. I don't think it's in fully. I think we've still got some big ones coming, but it's almost in. That's the way I kind of perceive it, sort of thing. So now humanity's attempting to, you know, they're stepping into it, or they're swimming in it, or surfing it, whatever anybody wants to call it, surfing wets, etc. But I think the tide is in, and it's that way, that tide of that ocean of wavelengths, which is clearly then bringing us to the surface. That's the Ascension. It's drawing us up. It's like this light is drawing us up. And for me, I've always found it extremely fascinating. Obviously, like yourself, it's like, what a topic to talk about, you know. So Ruth's with us, and Ava. Hi Ruth. Hi Ava. Thank you both for joining us.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, say hello.
Yeah, hi everyone. So yeah, I mean, going back to the energies, I feel like, and I don't know, it could be slightly different for everyone, but there's been so many energetic shifts. I'm just going to talk about me personally, but in my being, you know, like I feel like there's been times when it was a bit of an emotional roller coaster. And I was like, whoa, what's happening now? Like, what's this? You know? One day I'm feeling like something. The next day I'm like, oh, yeah, everything's easy breezy. You know, next day I'm like, oh, what's happening? You know, so if everyone is feeling the energies emotionally, vibrationally through their energetic self, you know, through their emotional self, then just keep going.
Yeah, just keep.
Everyone, keep going. It'll be fine. Yeah.
I think. Sorry, Lizzie. I think that's across the board, isn't it? I think we all think what you've just said. Just keep going.
Just keep going.
We're just going to continue to take this energy. We just need to keep going.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted, Lizzie, was, so we know there's an event. We know there's an ascension. We know the ascension is the raising up of consciousness. We know there's a process to it, because we know we can't take the baggage what we're carrying with us. So the shadow work, dark night of the soul, you know, the healing, all that's entwined in it. We know that. But it raises a question somewhere in there. how do we manage this ascension? How do we cope with it? Because it can be quite, like you said, keep going. It can be quite, anything from a mild, symptom to an extreme, like you think you're going to lose a plot completely, and anything in between it.
Yeah.
What would you say to people with that?
I mean, I think it's calling us to, and I think I've said this before, it is calling us to spend more time with ourselves, and just, you need to keep grounding yourself, go into nature, go by the sea, like ground yourself, just come back to yourself, meditation, being on your own. But yeah, it's a real journey, isn't it? Because I feel like it's being sped up in a way. It's like it could make you feel kind of out of control at times. But I think the more time that you spend trying to center yourself, not allow the outside influences or, things like the news or whatever you have, the less you allow those things to kind of stress you out or put you in a different vibration, the easier the journey gets, right? So we all have our things that we need to do. We all have our 9 to 5s or whatever it is, things that we have to get on with. But I think we also choose, there's a choice in the things that we do and the things that we agree to be part of. So I think making the choice to just focus on yourself, your journey and your own energy right now is really important.
Yeah, good advice, Lizzie, I would say. Very, because this is, in a way, this is what I wanted to look at with this conversation. The aspects of ascension, which you've just described, so many connected to it. Just going to say hello to Rish. Hi,
Rish.
Good to see you. Hopefully, Rish is going to be back shortly with us. He's already booked in, I think. Patrick, how are you doing, Patrick? Hope you're doing well. Lovely to have you with us. Patrick, you'll have to come on and have a chat one night. Let's do a live, if you're up for it. So, yeah, different aspects of it. How do we kind of cope with it and manage this ascension? What's the implications for humanity in the world? Obviously, what's the implications for ourselves? Because obviously, we're kind of becoming more in tune with a lighter sense of our being, to the lighter vibrations of who we are as a soul or as a consciousness or an awareness. And that transformation, as the energies interact with one another within and around our field of energy. The physical, like you said, grounding is so beneficial. It's funny recently, because we've been talking about grounding, and there's a bit of a kind of debate going on, which I'm really pleased to hear about with the grounded aspect. My thoughts on this is, yes, we've got to be grounded. We've got to be connected to the earth. But I think my understanding of it now is just connect to the earth and take off, because that's what it's all about now. That's the ascension process, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, there's we talked about this before. It's being in the state of surrender, right? You're not in suppression. You're not trying to suppress the movement of the change, the transition that you're going through, right? You have to come into a state of surrender with yourself, your environment, with the energies, with everything that's happening within the light that is building within yourself, your light body. So yeah, when I say grounding, I just mean like harmonizing with Mother Earth is going to help you, because she's raising her frequency too. So the more you harmonize with her, the easier it will get, So that's what I mean when I say like go into nature and ground, or go by the sea, and you're just harmonizing with that frequency, which is where it's at right now. Her frequency is the frequency that kind of is leading this ascension,
So I love this.
yeah, we're just harmonizing. We need to harmonize with her. So we need to make sure that we're taking ourselves away from also things like all of the EMF and all the stuff, you know, going into nature. It kind of just clears your energy field, you know, it kind of just clears away all of those things that you don't really need to hold on to. It's very good for you. It's very healing, you know.
I love that. You know what, Lizzie, I absolutely love what you've just said there, because I think grounding needs to be explained and clarified in a practical way, which I think you've just perfectly just kind of described. And I'll tell you the reason why is because for years and years and years, I think grounding is overemphasized, it's overrated, it's been spoken about far too much for me. And more importantly, it's never really been explained, which adds to a bit of confusion. Okay. And the reason why I'm thinking this, just to clarify, is if we're on an ascension process, we know we've got to transform energies. But if we're on an ascension process, then if we're too grounded, we're going to get stuck. We're going to get held down and held back in that ascension. Okay. And I love the fact you mentioned the light body, which I'd like to come back to in a bit. So we know we're trying to become this clear channel. And I always liken it to, as long as the earth is, as long as the feet, the physical body is connected to the earth, and the minimum crown chakra is connected to the light, that's when we become the conduit as an electromagnetic being. And that's, I think, is where, when people crack that one, the journey is slightly easier, if that makes sense. So I think there's been a lot of overemphasis on the grounding aspect. And I kind of want to encourage people just to connect to the earth, go out to Mother Nature, etc., as you've just beautifully described it. But ensure that the mind and the chakras are aligned in order to help the ascension process. Because we're talking about the ascension of consciousness, aren't we? We're talking about the ascension of the physical body to its next state of being, vibrating to its next state of being. That in itself is an ascension of those kind of particles, atoms, etc., and everything else, so subatomic stuff, quantum stuff, whatever we want to call it. You know, we know we're shifting because in that respect, we're moving to that ethereal, what I think is an ethereal state of being, which is the light, a lighter form, if like, which then includes the light body. We're becoming that light body, moving away from the perception of being these solid, dense states of matter, what we refer to, and generally, my body is a dense state of matter, and spirit are trying to say to us, and other beings, obviously cosmic beings, are saying, guys, change your perception here, because it's holding you back. Makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, I think it's a gradual process. And I think in the moments that people are feeling, this is what I want to put across, in the moments that people are feeling a bit lost, in the moments that you're struggling with your energy, it's good to take yourself somewhere that gives you peace, you know, that helps you clear your energy field.
100%.
So that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying grounding, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I love it. I think go on, sorry.
Yeah, no, that was kind of
It's funny because I wanted to come to this, what Francis put. Thank you, for putting this up. Do you want to read it, Lizzie?
Yeah, I was waking several times last night with my energy centers buzzing with a really high frequency. Thoughts on the course and the timing. Well, I mean, the time, I'll start in the timing. I don't know why I'm doing it in that order, but the timing, there's been a lot of eclipses. So again, you know, energetic shifts. But each person individually will be going through things in their own time, right? Because we've talked about this before as well. So timing is a funny thing because we made up time. right?
Yeah.
This is another thing that we need to get round
Yeah.
in the way that we think, right? Because everything is kind of time. But yeah, the energy centers, the buzzing, I mean, clearly stuff is clearing. So
Yeah.
this is a good sign. I had a lot of that in the beginning of my Kundalini awakening. My energy centers were crazy. Burning, buzzing, you know, I could feel them opening up, like really hot, like at times they were like super, super hot, and spinning. I could feel the spinning. And I went through a lot with that Kundalini awakening. Like at times I was doing like spontaneous, like yoga moves and all sorts of things, spinning around in my house, trying to regulate my energy, you know. So it sounds like you're going through an energetic upgrade right now.
Good point, Lizzie. Love it. Yeah. Timing, again, I'll start up with you one then. Cause. Thoughts on the cause of it? Well, you know where I'm going to go with this one anyway, Francis, straight away. There is a specific wave in, and it's literally just come in, I would say in the last 2 days. And I know some of you will go, no, not another one. But like Lizzie said earlier, just keep going. So, and it has been quite intense for the last 48 hours. And I agree, again, with what Lizzie just said. The timing for one will not be the same as the timing for another. And we know why. We know because there's a certain resonance, what each of us as individual kind of fields of energy are vibrating at. We know this, we can say there's a general kind of theme, as in there's a certain amount of people what will go through the similar thing roughly around the same time, and there'll be some what won't. But that there's a generalized thing going on. And I always go with that one. And now some of you go, you shouldn't generalize. Well, on this I am, because you can guarantee when one person's going through something, and once you put it out there, a lot of people go, okay, I'm getting the same kind of symptoms and this is happening. So that's when I say general, that's what I go with. This wave, what's just come in, is quite intense, Francis, within the last 48 hours. And it is obviously part of the ascension aspect. So there's obviously likely going to be a cleansing and clearing of a further cleansing and clearing. Let's put it this way, because it's always a further cleansing and clearing. We haven't got, I don't think we've even got started yet, guys, to be honest. So, you know, it's like we just got to this point and think, okay, how close to the end am I? Forget it. It's like, how close to the beginning am I still? Maybe that's the best thing. So the cause, obviously, waves of energy coming in. And especially if you've been working on yourself quite a bit, which means your energy, your field of energy is quite open. And in so much, what we're looking at, once the energy feels open, or the more it's open, the more opportunity these light waves can get in, these cosmic light waves can get in on a deeper level and start these activations. So I would go with that as the cause. And then obviously the timing, like Lizzie says, timing's a human construct anyway, you know, it's just a dense frequency, that's all it is. But I don't want to open that up with timing, because it's for another conversation, I think. But really good point, Francis.
I opened that one.
Yeah, use it for channeling, Francis. Clear. I always think once it's in, blast your whole energy field with that light, and you'll find it'll be a bit more difficult, and you'll find yourself swaying a bit more than what you would like to. But the cleansing and clearing procedure is a lot more beneficial once we're getting affected by it. And utilize each chakra if it's working in that respect. So brilliant stuff. Thank you. Good point, Francis. So for those who are just joining us, thank you so much. It's great to have you all. Yeah, go for it. Hi, Mark.
Yeah, Mark, because they only joined on, I noticed. So.
Yeah, nice to have you with us, Mark. Thanks for joining us. I've been told to sell the bus. Yeah, because that bus ain't big enough, Patrick. So this is Ruth. As I acknowledge more of the other experiences of my soul, I feel more expanded. The angels and cosmics appreciate my grounding, so they can more easily send us all activations and light codes. Good point, Ruth. What do you think, Lizzie? I think she's agreeing with you.
Yeah, so I feel like this is where we have to come back, you know. We have to keep coming back to ourselves in our own space. So that yeah, so you know, we can work with all of the frequencies and the codes, like you were saying, and also with the light waves, the beings of light, the angels, the dragons. There's so much happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I agree that we kind of do. Yeah, this is why I was talking about being slightly grounded, because I do feel like you have to be, otherwise you're going to feel like you're floating around everywhere. And, you know, I'm sure you understand this one, Colin, but when you kind of become the observer and you're kind of standing outside of this matrix that we've been living in, it can be quite easy to want to dissociate from literally everything in life. But the fact is that we are still in this body, we're still living this life, we still have to function within the systems that we live within for now, right? We can't just step completely out. So it's finding the balance of being grounded enough that you can still function, but you can also go through the ascension at the same time. So it is a balance, it's a balancing act, right?
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I like it, Lizzie. Yeah, I think it's a very valid point. I think it's constantly, I use the word I always use, equilibrium. It's a constant adjustment of equilibrium and therefore alignment. We are constantly aligning as we experience what we experience in any given moment. Whether it's the physical world or the spirit or the cosmic energies, light waves, etc. And in so much, using your word, it's a constant balancing. Get it, totally. And it's interesting, isn't it? Because it goes back to each individual making those adjustments according to their own perception in each moment. As Ruth is saying regarding the soul, as she's acknowledging more of the other experiences of her soul, she's feeling more expanded. 100%, Ruth, agree with you. As in effect, what we're doing is, as soon as we have an experience, that experience brings about change instantly, spontaneously. So, and therefore that experience and that change brings about the expansion. So absolutely agree with what you're saying, Ruth. Brilliant stuff. Francis, thank you. I did get the impression it was energetic upgrading. My first thought was equinox astrology. There you go, New Year energy, but second guessing myself. Well, now then, I'm going to throw a spanner in the works, and some of you will like it, and some of you inevitably will go, ah. So now it's one thing looking at the astrological things and the planets, etc., which of course apply. I'm not denying they don't. Of course they apply. However, I think those beings of light are really trying to, at this moment, really pushing for us to move beyond and further in our understanding of matter, especially physical matter, and not let it bog us down or distract us from what the nature of reality really is, which we know is energy. Now, when we're saying it's energy, it's not about just thinking it, because we're intellectualizing it at that point. It's about embodying it and living it. Okay. So I just wanted to put that in. I personally, I have a tendency, okay, let's put it this way. When we look at the objects, what we believe is our physical states of matter, we know they don't actually exist. They're all appearances to our mind. Now, I get where some people won't get this at the minute, but this is the truth of reality. So the planet, the Earth and the planets, what we're seeing even though they appear to our mind as solid objects, they're completely different from what we think. When we tap in, and I think this is a beautiful part, and I can't wait for this, because this is one of the beauties of Ascension. When we actually go into that inner light of awareness, we start perceiving things, as we know, totally different, which means everything appears to our mind differently the deeper we go into our own awareness, or the further we ascend. Doesn't matter in this instance. And therefore, the physical objects start to show themselves as what they are: waves of energies, including all the planets. So I just wanted to disturb one or two of your minds what's listening, just for the fun of it, with that comment. Come on, Lizzie, fire away, Lizzie.
I have a funny one, because in one of my, I don't know how funny it is, but it's funny. In one of my meditations, I got this download, and I was sort of channeling, and I was recording. This is probably last year or something. So, but what they were showing me and what they were telling me is the planets are actually energetically our chakras.
I'm trying not to say anything.
So,
come on, we're getting to the good stuff now.
That the planets live. You are the planets, and the planets are you, and I am me, and I'm everything, right? So everything is me. Okay, so this is what they always come back to, the beings of light. So we are everything, and everything is us.
Yeah.
But the way that they were showing me that the planets are actually just our chakras, it's energy, and it's about our alignment. Okay, so when people talk about astrology like an outside, I don't really understand that, because that doesn't make sense to me. When you look, if you look at astrology, if you look at your chart, or whatever it is that you're looking at, but let's say you're looking at something and you're saying, okay, well, in my chart it says Venus is in my first house or whatever, and therefore I am this sort of person, and these are the aspects that I should work on. Yes, these are the aspects within myself, right? So my chart is me.
Yeah.
The planets are me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's an embodiment of me. It's not out there. It's not in the sky. It's in here.
Well, okay. Shall we play for a minute?
Go on.
Shall we just play? So, astrological charts can be like tarot cards.
Yeah.
When we're interpreting them, we can make them fit to anything.
Absolutely.
Because it's a psychic. We can almost say it's a form of psychometry. Now, but I want to go somewhere further with this, Lizzie, because I think. Go on. Yeah, go on.
So much. I'm not talking about the chart as such. I'm just talking about the actual planets and what they represent, and the emotions, and everything about them. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I got that. I just wanted to kind of sling something else in from the side. So now then, let's say all of us present at this moment. Okay. Yourself, Ava, myself, everybody watching and listening to it. Okay, let's say for a moment we all ascended our consciousness, okay, beyond the physical world and beyond the physical plane as we perceive it, okay, beyond the universe and cosmos, just for a moment, and we observed the cosmos, and we imagine there's a cosmic grid in play, and therefore there's a universal grid. And then we could imagine that all the planets we understand to be out wherever they are in existence are nodes, little like manifestations where there's a completely different grid altogether. And at the point where they cross, where the grid crosses, the energy of them manifests what appears to be a planet to us. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So in effect, what we're looking at is we definitely know, I know I'm stretching things here, but just ride the wave with me for a minute. So imagine we know the planet is energy for a start, 100%, we know that, okay. But then when we imagine it as interconnected grid, planet to planet to planet to planet, and we've got this cosmic mesh with this energy flowing through the mesh in all directions. And in that mesh, consciousness is riding. Consciousness is the living energy of it. What's connecting the grid and what's in between the squares, so to speak, if we look at it as a grid and a mesh. Okay. And our consciousness is manifesting this thing, what we call the air. And therefore, what we're looking at is a moment of ascension, what gives us an instant to understand some of the reality of what we're trying to express and find, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Did you enjoy that, guys? Thank you. Thank you for letting me just go on that little journey. Meanwhile, let's come back. Let's come back to what we call it then. Okay. Reese, thank you so much. Such inspiring transmission. Two. Reese, thank you. Beautiful. Oh, hang on. So grateful. So much angelic, peaceful energy is being transmitted. Well, Reese, all you guys are the angelic beings. All of you. Everybody what's sitting here is you lot, what are the angels. Lizzie, Ava, all of you. I don't know what this thing is, but I haven't discovered it yet. Rich, let's have a look. Okay. Sue, thank you so much for your comment, Rich. Sue Townsend, maybe think of it as now that this is a really good point. Do you want to read it, Lizzie?
Maybe think of it earthing to prevent alleviate shocks similar to wiring in an electrical plug. Yeah, you could do that.
So, for those who don't know, we have the A to Z index of spiritualism. And Sue, thank you so much, because in the A to Z index of spiritualism, it talks about earthing, exactly as you just described, Sue.
Oh, see?
Because I totally agree with this, what Sue's saying. It's, if we notice, funny enough, Sue, the last couple of days, oops, oh. I don't know what happened there. We've entered the twilight zone now. So funny enough, the last 2 days, I've had shocks off the car. When I've been getting out the car or in the car, that little spark as you touch the metal. You open the door, you get hold of the door, they're getting, and that little shock. And I've kicked myself because then instantly, Sue, I've been aware that I need to earth my energies in that moment. So I've connected to the earth, literally. So totally get what you're saying here, Sue.
Yeah, it's like plugging yourself into Mother Gaia.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just scanning the book now, Lizzie, for earthing.
Oh, okay.
Did I put it in? I probably put it undergrounding. I'm not going to read it though. So, any more thoughts, any questions, guys? Please put them in. I wanted to ask another question then. Oh, hang on, Mark John. Yeah, hi, Mark. My shift in awareness is changing. My guide said slow adjustments, as it's way too powerful for our minds to cope with. If it was a sudden shift, slow adjustments. Lizzie, I like this one, Mark.
Is that me? I don't understand why that's happening. Yeah, so I got a similar message from my guides that it's just bit by bit by bit. So not to, because I'm impatient sometimes. So they're like, everyone just has to do bit by bit by bit. We can't just go from one extreme to the other. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Good point. Yeah, good point. Sorry. Good point, Mark. Thank you, Lizzie. I agree. We had a conversation about this a couple of nights ago because we have a channeling group on the Mondays and a trance on the Wednesday, and we had this subject came up. It's got to be, this awakening has got to be a gradual, gentle process.
Yeah.
I know there are some minds what want everything yesterday, but exactly what Mark and his guides are saying, what you're saying, Lizzie, if it was a sudden shift, 90%, 99% of the people, if not 100% of humans, would leave the planet in an instant. It would be just too powerful.
Yeah, exactly.
The intensity of the light can only be gradual, because we've got to constantly, like Mark says, we've got to constantly make adjustments and acclimatize to its intensity.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look what's happening already. There's only, a bit of light shining at the minute from the cosmos, and everybody's tripping like nobody's business on the planet. Imagine if it got turned up, So, yeah, Patrick, too fast and you'll be sick. Exactly. That's what it would do.
Yeah.
People, literally physically. So, totally agree with you. Sue says, I've had to wear copper bangles recently, on and off according to the feel of the energies. Yeah, so that's good advice for people. If anybody's struggling with earthing, etc., or it's a little bit too intense, just get your tinfoil hat on. Sorry, get your copper bangles on. I was going to say get your tinfoil hat on. Get your copper hat on, because a lot of people are conspiracists anyway.
I wear crystals. Why is there an echo? Is that echoing?
I don't know what's happened here. Something's going on, Lizzie. I don't know. I don't know. Have you got some aliens with you or something? What's going on?
Probably.
Got some ETs standing behind you.
Most likely. Anyway, I wear crystals every day, and every day I sort of just pick what feels right. Every day is different. Yeah,
I get it. You're lucky. I am Suez. I can't wear anything. Nothing. Ever since the awakening, like, I absolutely love watches. Can't wear it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Necklace, rings, watches.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Can't have anything on my body. There's enough things crawling all over my body as it is. So, with light and tripping it and God knows what. So, and Patrick's done that. He says to Sue. Rich said it's you, Lizzie. Thanks, Rich. I thought it was me for a minute.
It's me, is it?
So, Mark John, it won't be long now. By the end of the year, many people will feel liberated. The echo is listening in. What? Oh, the echo is the ETs listening in. It's you lot in the chat. You're just a bunch of ETs. That's what it is. Talk about cosmic beings. Can you imagine seeing all of us here in this space now, from a distance, from those other 5 and 7 and 10th dimension, coming in and watching all of us, what they would see, the lights, the colors, the vibrations, the movements, the motions of all of us individually and then collectively. It must look absolutely stunning.
Yeah, it must be good.
Yeah. Sue Townsend, agreeing with Mark, some people may experience of being almost stuck, yet the messages always come back through that a lot is happening behind the scenes by way of adjustments to our being. Totally so. Yeah. Lizzie, any comments on that one?
I'm just going to try and sort out my microphone because I don't know what's going on with this.
It could be, hang on, I'll mute and you speak it, and that might.
It's just every time I speak, I can hear an echo. No, it's fine now. So I don't know. Okay. Go on.
No, I think it could be mine interfering with it for some reason, my sound.
I don't know why it's doing that. I agree with Mark. Some people may experience of being almost stuck, yet the messages always come through that a lot is happening behind the scenes by the way of adjustment to our being. Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's so much there's so much going on behind the scenes. It's fascinating. thing.
Philosophy, Rich, it's Lizzie's powerful entourage. Patrick says he's good now.
It's the Galactic Council. They love connecting.
Yeah, Rich, I think the Galactic Council are all trying to squeeze into Lizzie's living room. So, anyway, so let's go on to this next point. No, because there was a point I wanted to. Mark said it. It won't be long now by the end of the year. Many people will feel liberated. That's an interesting point, Mark. I caught that. That's an interesting point. By the end of this year, a lot of people will feel liberated. Come on, I want to talk on this one. If you want to go for it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lizzie?
Yes, I think a lot of people will, but like we're always talking about, I think there's different people are at different stages, right? So I think there's going to be a lot of people that need a lot of guidance as well. So I don't think we're all energetically aligned on the same frequency. I think we're aligned on many different frequencies, and there's the catching up, right? So, and it has to be like that, because I suppose in some ways, you know, there are people that have to kind of lead the way or show the way or be able to kind of nurture the people who are going through these stages. Yeah. You know, there's always people at the forefront of everything, right? So
yeah,
so I agree that a lot of people will feel like that, but I also think that there's going to be a lot of people that feel very lost by the end of the year.
Which is going to be bringing us to the next point, which I wanted to bring in all this ascension process. But before we jump on that, I just want to say thank you to Mark for that point, what he's making, because I like to think that all these types of chats and discussions and podcasts, wherever they are, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of them are somehow beneficial to people. Those people especially, they're beneficial to all of us, obviously, but those people, what you've just described, Lizzie, those what are still yet to not just come into the space, but experience their own awakening, experience their shift, etc. Are those what have just did it and listening to some of this stuff and, you know, what's out there, not just, I don't mean here, I mean, globally, it's out there. The information is out there for people, which is brilliant. I just want to read what Sue's saying. And Patrick, yeah, you've got tenants. I spotted that, Patrick. Lizzie, according to Patrick, you've got some tenants. You got some tenants living rent free.
Most definitely.
Living rent free in your head.
You know, on my way I sit in the corner of my sofa, it's almost like a blank spot. When I sit there, if I get my phone out and trying to upload something, it won't upload. And I swear it's because they're just sitting next to me on the sofa.
Oh, Sue, okay, let's bring this. Sue, liberation through releasing the attachment to density of human form of mind, a whole new way of being. 100%, Sue. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. And it's a brilliant point. So it's that weird, isn't it? Attachment has got us into so much difficulty on so many levels. It's like a multitude. We were saying today, it's like the whole planet is geared up and full of distractions. You know, trying to get into open a, you know, some kind of carton or bottle these days is, you know, they're making it a task. You know, this thing with a plastic cap sticking to the, you know, where you can't unscrew the cap and take it off. You know, it's like, oh, there are a load of babies down there. Let's give them a bottle and make them suffer. You know, and it's like you're taking your time trying to get the water or whatever liquid fluid you're trying to get. And from that to your car going wrong, and it's like constant. There's always something happening through the day. One thing, and it's totally to distract our minds from having time to focus on this side of existence, on spiritual matters and our own consciousness and this ascension process. Do you know what I mean?
But that's what I said in the beginning about how important it is that we make the choices to take the time, you know, to how we spend our time. You know, do we come back to ourselves, sit in meditation for a bit instead of doing something that, you know, isn't actually going to change the world?
Take a pause. Yeah, that's right. Take a pause. And the, what do you call it? The attachment aspect. I've got to confess, I absolutely love that an aspect of this ascension is removing or transforming the attachments, you know, within human nature across the board. Because we know the attachment is like, that's my car, and we get like ridiculous over it, you know, road rage in the street, you know, because somebody wants to cut somebody off, you know, it's like, stop being attached. You know, you're attached to you getting their face, pack it in, just, it's okay, let them get in. All, you know, and attachment to objects, thoughts, feelings, you know, attached to all those things which we've stepped into when we was born. Parents, friends, thoughts, you know, schools. This is right, this is wrong, this is, and it's like, it's just absolutely full of attachment. You go, guys, it's okay. Let it all go. Let it all go. All our attachments have held us back. Like Sue said, they would use the word density of the human form and mind. It's held us down far too long. And personally, I absolutely love the fact that we've got spiritual and cosmic beings now merging with us, and together we're kind of bringing about this phenomenal change. But you have to stop me, Lizzie, because I'll go off on one.
I wondered if I could read something, because I just kept being drawn to, everyone was talking about liberation. And I got this channeled message that I've read out before, and it's about liberation. So I'm just going to read it quickly, because beings of light are pushing me. Okay. Liberation. As the day falls to night and the night falls to day, never-ending cycles of light and dark, of yin and yang, of true soul's expression, must move with the infinite possibilities of the universe. There is no such thing as the perfect timing, because there are many variables of outcomes and many different paths and timelines that you may choose to walk down or jump onto. Your timing is the only timing that matters, of your soul's expression is the only thing that matters. Most importantly, you came here on earth on your own soul's journey, and you must listen to your heart. Your heart is the beacon that pulls you forward into the direction of your soul's purpose and into the unfoldment of the many things that you came here to learn. You may change the course of direction at any time you wish. Anytime you get this gravitational pull leading you down a different path to encounter new souls and new soul's expressions. What is the soul expression, do you ask? It is the foundation of the reasons why you came into this body, into this life, onto this planet, to learn and to experience all there is to explore within the things that may expand your consciousness, so that you may expand the divine source consciousness as you are one. You are source, and source is expressing itself through you. What will you let go of today? What no longer serves you? How will you move forward? What lessons have you learnt? What cycles have you completed? And what feelings and emotions are holding you back? What words were not expressed, and what desires were not felt or experienced? What dreams did you not give yourself permission to live? Could this be a turning point? Could you create a new life, a new experience, or a new soul's expression? So choose your path wisely. Listen to your heart's desires. Be the beacon of light when you step into rooms. Love and give generously of your energy to others that give back to you. But most of all, be true to yourself, to your own essence, to your own soul expression. Be strong, be courageous, flow like the sea, find your inner peace, and liberate yourself from everybody else's expectations. This is your journey, no one else's.
What do you say? How beautiful is that, Lizzie?
I know, how beautiful was that?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing and reading it.
You're welcome.
Absolutely love it.
But it kind of summed up what we've been talking about, right?
Liberation. Yeah, liberation.
But also the ascension.
Yeah.
What we're doing, where we're at, our path. Are we living our true expression?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Or are we living other people's expectations? Because these are all the things that we're lifting right now. And as we're going through this process, we're going through coming back to ourselves, remembering ourselves, our true soul essence, you know? But in order to do that, you have to honor yourself in every single thing that you do. So
totally agree with us, Lizzie. I'm sure, I think everybody's loved what you just said. You have to, you know, we've got etheric web.
Yeah. If
you feel like it, post it on there as well. Put it onto there so people can see it and read it. That's what it's for. It's set up for, it's literally, we set up etheric web, Facebook, for people to post beautiful stuff like this, authentic, channeled, and just realistic and beautiful. Yeah, brilliant stuff.
There's so much. I get so many downloads. The other day, I got another download about the primordial collapse of fundamental systems. I mean, wow. Quite extreme, right? One thing to the other. And this was just like, I got up, I'm just mooching around in my house, and next minute I'm getting this, like these, and I'm like, what does primordial collapse mean? I'm like, so I had to look it up, and then they kept feeding me this information. So I was like, okay, I better write it down. But it was very cool.
We'll have to, you'll have to send it and post it. Let's have a look at it. Just quickly, I wanted to see read what Mark was saying.
Yeah.
Lizzie, thank you so much for that. And then we're going to come to that primordial, the collapse, because I've got a kind of point here, which is, and I've a secret number, numerology, talk about numbers. I've got, sorry, just 88 has just come up on my, I wrote some bits down on my phone, a list of about 8 things. And I've just tapped my phone, and all I'm looking at is 88. Anyway, yeah, so Mark, we are in a battle of lower and higher consciousness, and of higher consciousness, and higher consciousness has already won. It's the process of the lower consciousness surrendering. Their time is up. Though they can't hide anymore, as higher consciousness is in the driving seat, as it were. It's a matter of time now. We still have much work to do to put things right. Ta-da! Brilliant, Mark. Lizzie, any thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. There is a, I always say the real war is the war on frequency and vibration, right?
Yeah, definitely. I would, it's funny because I wanted to be, Mark, you must be psychic or psychic, I don't know which one it is. But, so I wanted to move to this point, which is regarding the Ascension, and the process of Ascension. We've only barely covered the tip of it, the iceberg tonight, Lizzie. We know we have. You know, there's moving from the 3D to all the other dimensions, the higher self, the frequencies of the higher self in connection with the Ascension. There's so much more. But one specific thing which I wanted to point out, or not point out, but say and bring up, a little bit in line with what Mark is saying. It is, as the certain group of people ascending, okay, not a group, but, you know, across the planet, So this, we see a mass awakening, and the mass awakening is telling us about the ascension of consciousness, of human consciousness. So the question remains, what about those who are entrapped in wars and destruction and the perpetuation of them, the constant perpetuation? Because we know those minds, when we look at those minds, and I'm not comparing, but when we look at those minds and wonder and ponder where they're going to be at, where they're at in this whole process of human ascension, of the human shift in human consciousness and the ascension process, because we know there's those on the planet at the minute, what we're witnessing right now, what are full on in their density, bringing about violence, wars, destruction. I mean, we're talking on the way things are going at the minute, and I'm talking on a physical plane now, as well as coming from the ascended aspect. And no, guys, I didn't mean I'm ascended, but we're in the conversation. We're almost bordering on seeing an apocalyptic. If you look at some places, it looks like an apocalyptic scene, but an apocalyptic scene almost playing out on the planet. And those minds who are perpetuating it and at the heart of it and instigating it, where are they on this ascension process of humanity? What's your thoughts on that, Lizzie?
Oh, this is such a good question. Because I think there's different ways that you can look at it, right? And it depends on your perception of things or where you allow your mind to take you. I think that we all have a role to play. So that's the first thing that I would say. And I think we also chose certain things that we would be part of in the great scheme of this experience and this life. Going back to my message that I read out, we all choose our path, and we're here as an experience. The thing is, we think of ourselves as such physical beings all the time. But actually, I'm just going to throw this in there quickly. I was watching this video the other day about a woman who left her body because she had a car accident. And as soon as she left her body, and she was like, right, that's it, like, I'm free, okay? And she realized that she no longer had any emotional attachment to her vessel. So I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, okay? She had no emotional attachment to her vessel, but she also no longer had any emotional attachment to anything that was going on the earth. She thought, that's it, I'm done. This is it, I'm done. This is my journey. I'm off now. And she noticed that behind her in another car was somebody that she knew in this life, okay? Somebody that she knew well. And she tuned into that person and she felt her pain. And from the outside as an observer, she didn't want her to feel pain. So this talks about what we always talk about, spirit, how, you know, they're in a completely different vibration. They're not attached to this dense emotional state that we're attached to. Anyway, it was very interesting. The way she described her experience outside of her body was like, it gave her this this knowledge that when we're just here for a very short time, and then we go back there, and then we may choose to come back and incarnate, and then we may go back, and then, you know, we move around all over the place. But when you're there, you're not attached to everything that's going on. And when I said that there's a war going on, but the real war is the war of vibration and frequency, because that's how I think from my higher awareness. I think that everything is playing out because there is the role to be played, and everyone has their role to play. And some people would have chosen the role that everyone would have chosen the role that they're in. Okay. So those people who are in that, let's say you're talking about, let's say, war and famine, or war. Okay, war's a good one because it's man-made. They would have chosen to do that, but I'm sure that those things need to be seen, they need to be felt, they need to be observed, so that we can come to a point in our ascension, in our awareness, in our consciousness, to be like, oh my God, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing this? Why are we perpetuating these cycles over and over and over? Why are we so almost afraid to step outside of this matrix that we've created, right? Because we are living in it in agreement with what's happening, in a sense. That's what we've been doing, right? Because we live in a state of fear, and the fear is what it keeps causing all of these things. If we can raise our awareness and our ascension, if we can move through this ascension process to a point where we no longer resonate with the frequency of fear, then we will not be part of these systems anymore, because we will not be able to do those things. We won't be able to even watch them or have them happen in our, on this planet that we live on. We won't be able to be in agreement with them. As to the people who are now playing out their part in those things that are happening, I believe they chose to play that part so that we may wake up, so we may wake the planet up, so that we may all come together in a unity consciousness. That's my answer. I don't know. Is that a good answer?
Yeah, very, Lizzie, very.
Houses, but I was trying to tie it together.
Yeah, no, that was kind of for me, that was a beautiful answer. Very clear, identified certain aspects, loved it. Absolutely. And I knew there was a reason when I wrote that down. I don't normally write anything on my phone as such, but for some reason I wanted to get, how many points was it? I don't know, maybe 5, 7. Where are we? Literally 7 questions, or 7, aspects. And that was the last one. That was the one. And when I wrote it, I thought, oh, I like that. I want to discuss that with Lizzie.
I just think that this is what it's like when you become the observer. And this is what's happening with the ascension. As we're moving and removing the energetic layers of debris, density, distortion through our fields and our bodies, we're moving to a level of awareness where we can observe, but we can see the truth in what's really going on, which is that we've lived within a system where everyone's been controlled by fear. But as soon as more and more people become aware of it, we then create a field of unity consciousness, of authenticity, of compassion, but not attachment, because that's the problem. You can't observe with attachment. You have to observe without attachment, right? So that you still keep yourself in the highest frequency that you can.
Yeah. Beautifully said, Lizzie.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. Woof. I am so pleased Spirit put that question in my head. Sue, we're just going to have a look at Sue's, because thank you, Sue. You've taken the time to write this one out. We're going to pay homage to it by reading it. Sue Townsend. Perhaps their role is demonstrating to humanity, yet again, where we do not want to go. And as part of the process, yet, whilst many of us continue to have inner conflicts reflected in the world around us, the only way for change is through each of us. And as we lighten our own energy and raise our frequency, that ripples out onto the heavy, dense part of the world. I feel it is important to be aware of that this weight, this density, will be dissolved by the light as greater awareness.
Exactly. Perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. I'm not even adding to any of this. We're going to draw this to a close on this note, if that's all right, because I think it's a perfect, perfect moment. So thank you so much for that. Thank you to everybody. Annie, lovely to have you with us. Hope all is well. So, Lizzie,
yes,
tell us what you've got coming up. Anything? We'd love to have you back again for part 7 or 20, whatever it's going to be.
I would love to be back. You know that. Yes, I will be back soon. What have I got coming up? Just similar stuff, you know, mediumship, private readings, my online stuff. What else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I'm taking a very short break to go and see my family in Denmark in April, so that would be nice.
Hey,
yeah.
Beautiful.
And that's it, really. Just kind of plodding along with the universe at the moment.
Love it. Where can everybody find you?
Elizabeth Lux is where you can find me if you like.
On Facebook?
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
All under the same name, Elizabeth Lux. All
of it.
Brilliant stuff. Lizzie, thank you so much. Absolutely amazing. Loved it. So, just for all those in the chat, there you go. Just before we said that, Elizabeth Lux. Find Lizzie on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok as Elizabeth Lux. Brilliant stuff. Ava, thank you so much for putting that on. Just a thought to everybody. If anybody wishes to join us on the Cosmic Lounge and have a chat about your specific subject, please get in touch with us. We love doing these live chats. So don't be shy. Don't think you can't. Please just send us a message. We'd love to have you on and we can arrange a time. Let's get this information out there. Final thank you to Ava in the background on the keyboard as a keyboard wizard. Bless her. Can't happen without her because I am absolutely useless on this stuff. All I can say, guys, is stay inside your spiral. Keep your alignment going. Use your intuition. Intuition now. I'm going to be doing something on intuition in hopefully coming days or whenever, because Spirit are pushing this aspect about intuition. Thank you to Lizzie. Thank you to everybody. Thank you to Lizzie's guides and inspirers, and to everybody. And yeah, wonderful moments. I agree, Rich. Thank you so much. Thanks, Margaret. Thank you, everybody. Lots of love, and we'll see you very soon. Wow, tomorrow night. Quickly, yes, before I forget. So we've got a chat tomorrow, live again tomorrow with Pauline Barnfather. Looking forward to this one. It's about AI. And then we'll see where the conversation goes, how we can manage ourselves regarding AI, etc. So we'll be looking at different aspects, and it'll probably get expanded. Please check out Monoka Consciousness Group. You can look at the calendar. We've got lots of stuff coming up. Crystal classes coming up, trance healing, open circles with Sue Townsend. Thank you, Sue. Sunday, we've got Trish taking the Prayers World Peace meditation, etc., etc. And every day, 5 o'clock, Pauline Barnfather. Blah, 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 blah. Annie Claire with Moon Phase Community. It's just like blah, blah, blah. Guys, check out. It's on the calendar. Lizzie, absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
That was so much fun, as usual.
Brilliant stuff. I love it. Thank you.
So quickly. It's like, bing. It goes so quick, doesn't it? It's like, bing.
Yeah, we'll try and extend it next time.
We can talk about the primordial collapse.
Primordial collapse. Yeah. That's it. We can use that as a title. Okay, guys, watch out for it. We'll be back with Lizzie. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Lots of love to everybody. Thanks for listening and tuning in. Brenda, I just spotted you. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.